So when I'm having conversations with other property management companies, one of the questions I hear sometimes is, hey Mark, do you guys have a good rent-ready checklist you can share with me? Because I need to make sure that my properties, I just want to send somebody in there. I don't want to have to go in myself and come up with this punch list of all these things to do. Why can't we standardize it, Mark? Why can't we just have a standard punch list of things to do on every property and vendors just get it done? It's a fair question, but it won't work. And now to tell you why it won't work, let me give you an example. Let me tell you a story about two properties that we managed that both recently turned over. The first property was on Acoma Street. This is a picture of the exterior of Acoma Street. Now, Acoma Street, this was an amazing property. Highly desirable area. It's a little bit older home, but completely refurbished. They went in a few years ago, and just from the outside and in, they brought this thing up to a whole new level. Beautiful home inside and out. And we had that turnover. So we had to figure out what to do. Could we use a standardized punch list or could we not? Well, at the same time that Acoma Street turned over, we had another property turn over. This property was on Ames Street, also in other side of town. This is an exterior property of Ames Street. Now, I don't know if you can see that very well. Doesn't look quite as pretty as Acoma. Now, I'm getting a lot of judgment right now. I can just tell through the screen. Mark, why would you manage that kind of property? Listen, we've been in business for 40 years. Stop judging me. This was one of our early ones where we were just taking anything, and it's a great owner. It's low income property, not the best of property. That's our, as I said, exterior picture. It is a duplex, I think, what you can see there, but chain link fence. Anyway, and we had to get both these two ready at the same time. So the question is, could we just give a punch list, the same punch list, to a vendor, send them into Acoma and Ames, and expect the outcome to be the same? Well, let me go a little bit deeper. Let me show you a picture of the kitchen of Acoma Street. Totally redone. You see that stainless steel everywhere. They've got stainless steel. They've got granite countertops. Maybe it was even slate. The floor is, I don't know, some kind of high-end tile, probably moon rock or something. I mean, the place looks like a model home on the kitchen. So when we got that one rent ready, like we went all out. It had to shine, sparkle. There could not be a blemish anywhere on that kitchen. Now, when it came to the kitchen of Ames Street, a little bit older. We call it dated. Yes, that refrigerator is actually blue. It's a blue, kind of a, I don't know what you call that, lime blue refrigerator. Yeah, those used to be around. Those used to be around. That we did upgrade the ceiling fan about 10 years ago. That's still there. That's kind of nice. It has subway tile on that back wall with a very fine yellow print across the subway tile. I mean, this is classic 1950s, I believe. Probably fridge is from 1950s. But we had to figure out where to stop on this one. But that's the kitchen. Now, before I show you the bathroom, let me thank the sponsor for this video, HireSmart Virtual Assistants. The website is HireSmart VAs. If you aren't using VAs, it is time to think about that. It's an affordable way for you to bring in some help, to grow your business, to offload some of the tasks that you should not be spending your time doing. For most of us, we do more than we should do. We do tasks that we should have other folks doing, and virtual assistants are a great way to do that. So this video's over. I want you to reach out to them at hiresmartvas.com. Talk to Mark and Ann. Tell them that Marc Cunningham sent you. They will take care of you. They'll explain all of their business, and you can decide if a VA is right for your company or not. All right, let's talk about the bathroom, because that's where the magic happens, in the bathroom. Right? So the bathroom on Acoma Street, again, model home. I don't even know what that tile in the shower area is. It's just, it looks amazing. It's custom beyond custom. The sink, the cabinets, everything just glistens right out of a magazine. Now, Ames Street, a little bit rougher. Bathtub is pink. Had to decide, do we recoat it? I don't know. We could recoat it. Be what, $400 or $500 to go in and recoat the bathtub. We could do that. That's one option. The tile is still good. It's clean, but it's old. It's got, again, the little blue ring at the top there just to make it all come together. The soap holder is gold. Original's 1960s. Clean as can be, but it's gold and looks pretty dated. Same thing with the little nozzles there. Should we replace those? We could. They're functional. They're really old looking. So the question becomes, where do you stop? And that's why I don't believe you can have a standard make-ready punch list that you just hand to a vendor and you send them into Acoma and you send them into Ames and you expect them to get it done. Because you need to define to them, especially on Ames Street, where to stop. Do we replace the ceiling fan? Do we resurface the tub? And that's a decision you as the property manager are going to have to make, taking into consideration the property, the cleanliness, and what your owner client is willing to do. That's why I think it's necessary for you as the PM to get involved in these. You've got to go into the property. You've got to talk to your owner client. And here's what you say to your owner client. Listen, Mr. Owner Client, I'm going to give you 3 lists. 3 lists. You ready for this? List number 1 is what we absolutely have to do to get this property rented. Okay? The window's broken. We have to fix the window. There's no lock on the back door. We have to put a lock on the back door. That's list number 1. What do you have to do? List number 2 is what do you strongly recommend doing? We don't have to do these things, but I really recommend it. We don't have to resurface the pink bathtub, but I really think we should resurface it to a nice updated white. We don't have to replace the ceiling fan that wobbles and doesn't look great with the new one, but I really recommend we do. That's list number 2. List number 3 is kind of the, if you want to take it to the next level, what do you do? So in this case, we're saying things like, we don't have to replace the refrigerator. It's probably okay the way it is, but boy, if you really want to make that thing sparkle, maybe get rid of the mint blue refrigerator and let's replace it with something a little bit nicer, a little bit newer. Give your owner list those 3. Give your owners those 3 lists. What do you have to do? What do you highly recommend? And what is just kind of the things to get it to the next level? Now, some of you are thinking, Mark, you're being very unfair to Ames Street. It's a good property, and it is a good property. A lot of tenants have rented there for a lot of years, but I do have to show you the exterior landscaping because I didn't talk about landscaping. And so as we were at Ames Street taking pictures, it's a duplex, as I mentioned, so we thought, well, maybe we can, the front picture wasn't great. Maybe we can mark it from the back picture. And so we took a picture of the back with the neighbors, and I mean, at least they do have some chain link fence, and those are extension cords being run across the front of the chain link fence in front of the dogs. Although I think, to their credit, I think they're using those extension cords to electrify the fence to keep the killer dogs from going into the neighbor's yard. So it all worked out. It all worked out just fine. Now, here's what I'm not saying, by the way. I'm not saying you shouldn't have rent-ready standards. And if you want to hear more about that, look at video number 58. We have a video where we talk about what is rent-ready, because that's a whole different conversation. You absolutely have to have standards on the rent-ready process. I just don't believe you can have a standardized checklist on every single thing, because you're putting your vendors in an unfair situation when you make them decide where to stop on the make-ready. That's your job as the professional property manager. Hey, I hope this was helpful to you. Check our videos out. If you want to subscribe and not make sure you don't miss any of these, you can feel free to do so, but I wish you a lot of success.